here you can see this
Okay.
class we are going to be cover the overview of the basic PAM principles and concepts. What are the principles and what are the concepts which we are going to be cover, and a common attack method and how CyberArk PAM can minimize the exposure, and what are the key features of the CyberArk on the self-hosted PAM solution. There are the two solutions which is available in the CyberArk. One is self-hosted PAM solution, another one is the privileged cloud. So
Okay.
self-hosted, which we need to set up everything, and that means we have to create our own servers, and we have to maintain our storage, and we have to maintain our network, and everything we have to maintain internal. That means within the company we have to
Okay.
maintain. The privileged cloud means the
Mhm.
cyber company itself is going to be provide everything, and they will simply provide the access, and we have to access that, and we will log in into the PBWA server, and we will do it. That is what exactly we are going to be doing.
Okay.
But here,
Mhm.
but here you can see the self-hosted, we have to maintain everything. That's right. That's the reason I was asking you to create one AWS account, because this lab we are going to be set up in the AWS servers. AWS is the free account for one
Okay.
year. Every month they are going to be provide $200, I think so. Okay.
Okay.
So we are going to be set up everything, because if you know the self-hosted, then that would be the privileged cloud is going to be very easy compared to the self-hosted, because privileged cloud, nothing, you don't know anything. We just know the
Mhm.
connector server, and we will get the access into the connector server, and we will access to that. But self-hosted, we have to build our own servers, and we have to maintain the network, and everything we should know for the
Okay.
environment setup of the CyberArk. Okay.
Mhm.
And the next one is the system architecture, and we will come to know what is the architecture which is available, how many architectures, that means standalone or cluster based vault, which we are going to be installed like that. And the system
Okay.
interfaces and utilities. What is the system interfaces and utilities? What are the utilities which is available? What are the versions which is available? So there are two versions which is available: V10 interface. Another one is the classic interface. So we will discuss in the later.
Okay.
So on the online help and customer community, that means the online help and customer community portal which is available. Uh, and the community portal, you can get into the complete CyberArk documentation.
Okay.
Okay. So if any help required, or if you are getting any error, no need to ask, or no need to depend on any other person. You simply go and check with the customer community portal. You can give that error. For example, if you are getting the CPM error,
Mhm.
is just copy that error message and paste into there, and you will get the some result. At least you can get the some
Mhm.
resolution for that error. So that is how exactly we are going to be doing. Okay. So don't ask anyone. Okay. Don't depend on anyone. Everything it is available in the customer community portal for the CyberArk. And if you
Okay.
don't know, still you are not able to get the answer, you can reach out to the CyberArk support team, and they will give you the some answer. But uh, before reaching out to the CyberArk support team, you have to investigate within the internal team, or you can reach out to the internal team, or you can check into the Google and everything. Then only you can reach out to the support team, because support team is the last option for us. Okay.
Okay.
So first, what is the privileged accounts? What are the privileged accounts? The privileged account is any account that has the capability to change or impact the operational service of the business process. Okay. So privileged accounts means it's an
Mhm.
important accounts. In the organization, it feels that these are the important accounts, and these are for these accounts we have to maintain the more security, because these credentials someone is hacking, then that is going to be impact on our business. So those are the important accounts,
Mhm.
whatever it is, it's related to important. That's what I can say. The company feels these
Mhm.
are the important. If someone is hacked those credentials, company is going to be impact. That feels they can have some
Okay.
more
Like
privilege.
the accounts which have mhm.
Go ahead, go
The
ahead.
like accounts which have limited access.
Correct. Whatever the accounts which is having the more privileges, those called as an important account. For example, you can see the administrator. For Windows is the administrator, root Linux is the root user, so,
Mhm.
database, Oracle database is the sys user, like that. So these are the full privileges
Mhm.
users, and if someone is hacking the administrator credentials, what will happen? That administrator credentials is having the more privileges. That means he can
Mhm.
able to edit, and he can able to delete, and he can able to modify that. Other users, other
Okay.
accounts is getting only limited access, right? For example, instead of administrator,
Mhm.
if you hack someone, they that person, for example, Hemant credentials is having, but Hemant is only having the read only access. By using the read only
Mhm.
access, the
Then they
hacker
can
cannot,
only view.
correct,
Yeah.
view that complete profile. You that the complete data. That means
Mm-hmm.
he cannot do anything on that, right?
Mm-hmm.
At least if hackers will get the administrator privileges account, then they can hack that complete database and they will demand some money. That is going to be
Mm-hmm.
impact, or that person, that administrator credentials person can able to rotate the password and change the password, whatever it is, based on the request, based on the requirement of the business, right? So here the privileged
Yes.
accounts, I can say it's an important accounts. Okay, so here you can
Okay.
see the some of the examples of the privileged accounts. Some of the classic examples include the following accounts: administrator on the Windows server, root on the Unix server, sys user on Oracle database, and Cisco devices. So these are the some of the classic examples. Okay, you can already very well,
Mm.
but administrator is on a full privileges for the Windows. Okay, whoever is getting
Yes.
the administrator privileges, that person can able to do edit. That person can able to do modify and delete it, and he can able to do access to everything. So that is the most important of the administrator group, administrator user, as well as the root and sys users. So privilege is everywhere. You can
Okay.
use everywhere. So privileged accounts exist in every account, connected devices, databases, applications, industrial control, whatever it is. So privilege would be, you can see here, even though AWS accounts also, even AWS accounts, AWS servers also, you may feel the some privileges. So
Mm-hmm.
it is going to be connect on every devices, on every databases, applications, whatever it is. It will be everywhere. The privileges will be everywhere. So those privileges, CyberArk is going to be managing those things. So earlier, how exactly they were
Okay.
doing? They used to maintain the Excel sheet, right? I hope you understood. They used to
Mm-hmm.
maintain one Excel sheet, right? In that Excel sheet, they will update the
Yes.
those application credentials. That means, for example, you have a one application. In that application, you can see one name, one credential. That means Hemant. Hemant is the password is at the rate 123, or password at the rate 123, like that.
Mm-hmm.
They used to maintain that. Those are the credentials which is easily guessable. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
easily
Yes.
guessable and easily accessible. Okay, or someone is hacking those credentials. I used to maintain the Excel sheet. Then the person can easily get into that Excel sheet, and he can able to access that. He can able to see those
Mm-hmm.
credentials. Okay, so
Yes.
now what exactly CyberArk is going to be do? CyberArk is going to be managing these credentials. Who is getting access to the CyberArk? Whoever is authorized person, whoever is having some proper privileges, that person can able to access to the CyberArk. So though that person
Mm.
also is not able to see all the accounts. For example, I hope you already worked on the this
Yes. Yes.
support, but you didn't get the proper access. You didn't get the privileges. You didn't get the administrator access. Maybe you may get, you may not get, but only the few people will get the
Mm-hmm.
administrative access, and others, for example, you are belongs to audit team, you only get the audit access. For example, you are belong to
Yes.
the monitoring, you only get the monitoring access. You are belongs to the
Like
administrative. That
I'm
means
in administration, so we have full access like that.
exactly. So like that. So we are not going to be provide the full access to the everyone in the organizations. We are going to be provide the access as per the
Mm-hmm.
requirement of the business. Based on that request, we are going to be provide the access to the people. Okay. So we are
Yes.
restricting the access at the safe level. Right. So that is the reason if
Mm-hmm.
someone is
Yes.
hacking, someone is trying to connect to the server, he has to log in first CyberArk. If he is connected, if
Mm.
so for example, Hemant credentials has stepped someone. Okay, he's get the Hemant credentials. He's trying to log in that CyberArk. Maybe he can able to access that CyberArk, but he cannot access to the applications because Hemant doesn't have a application
Mm.
access.
Mm-hmm.
So what he will do? He will not do
So
anything on that.
yes, yes. Like whatever, like administrator, what access we have given to the user, like that access only they can access. Those servers only they can
Correct.
able to access.
Exactly.
Like
For example,
whatever we have added in the add members, like whatever access we have given, so they will get those privileges. Like it is,
exactly.
we can say it as a role-based access control, right?
Yeah, are back.
Yeah.
Okay, so like that we are get the people will get the access, and hackers also is not able to access to the CyberArk because he has to
Mm-hmm.
get the access first whenever he wants to
Yes.
connect his server. So that's the
Yes.
reason every organization wants to move into the CyberArk because they wants to maintain the CyberArk solution. CyberArk is the one of the best company in the market and providing the solution, providing the security to those organizations' credentials. So CyberArk simply, I can say simply, CyberArk is going to be managing the credentials of the human and non-human accounts.
Mm-hmm.
Simply, human and non-human accounts. Okay,
Okay. Bro,
so
I have one doubt. What is the difference between that EPM? Like, some are working on EPM, right? Endpoint. So
in
is it also storing the like securing the credentials, or it is different?
that is different. See, endpoint EPM is completely different. EPM is managing that endpoint privileges manager. So it's going to be monitoring that. So whatever the privileges, whatever the accounts we are going to be onboarding, EPM is going to be managing
Okay.
those things and it is going to be monitoring that. So this is different and that is different.
Okay. Okay.
Clear?
Yeah.
So
Clear.
the basic one, this is the world. Oh, see, whatever the component, whatever the solutions which we are using here. Sorry. One sec. So whatever accounts we are going to be onboarding here, so that those credentials, CyberArk Vault is going to be managing that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, the
Okay.
next one is privilege can be used any identity. It's an system administrator, third-party service providers, applications, select business owners, social networking account managers. So it can be used by any identity, anything, applications, whatever it is. They want, if they require, the fields is required to manage the credentials. Yeah, definitely they are going to be used that
Mm-hmm.
privilege. Until unless
Okay.
recently IT administrators also we are considering the privileged users because admins also having some privileges. So we were
Yes.
considered privileged users. Okay. In today's environment,
Okay.
almost every identity can be privileged under the certain conditions. That means based on the I told you, right? Certain conditions means based
Mm-hmm.
on the requirement of the business. You may
Yes.
feel Hemant is may feel this is the privileges. I may not feel okay, that is not important for that business. So they may not feel that is
Yes.
the privileged account, but some of the accounts they may feel these are the important. If someone is hacking those credentials, definitely it is going to be impact of our business. Yeah, definitely those are the
Yes.
privileges. So like that. So some
Okay.
of the challenges and threats we can see attackers the attackers needs insider credentials. 80% of the security breaches involve compromised the privileged credentials. 80% of the security breaches
Yes.
involve compromise the privileged credentials. Yes, this point is
Yes.
100% correct because they are compromising their credentials. The people
Yes.
simply you logged in into your AD credentials and simply what they will do, they will return somewhere in the desktop or somewhere in your desk, whatever it is. They will return the credentials.
Yes.
Okay, they are compromising, right? And some people, what they will do,
Mm-hmm.
they will enter the credentials into the social networking. They will enter the credentials LinkedIn, Facebook, somewhat. Hey, I joined this company. My
Yes.
credentials is so and so like that. So whenever they are
Yes.
compromising their credentials, they feel okay. We'll take later. No, don't compromise that. The credentials is the most
Mm-hmm.
important. Whenever you are going outside of the home, you have to lock your door. Otherwise, what
Yeah.
will happen? You may feel okay, I'm going down only. So again, I will come back within the 5 minutes. It in the 5 minutes, it will happen a lot.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know, right?
Yes.
So we
Yes.
have to make sure and ensure that we have to manage our credentials proper way.
Yeah.
Then only we will not uh, hack any credentials from our company.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now,
Good.
so technologies can change attack path and don't do. Here you can see the prevent. First, prevent, stop, and limit. To prevent means
Mm-hmm.
credential theft. So the people whoever wants to enter into the organization, there are the two ways. One is internal attacker and external attacker. Internal attacker means the attacker inside of the organization. External
Mm-hmm.
attacker means the person is not don't have a relation with the company, but they will enter into the organization. How they will enter into the organization? They will get the credentials from the someone of the organization.
Yes.
So one of the person is working in the organization, but the person no updated those credentials in the no desk or someone or LinkedIn or social networking wherever it is, YouTube, whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
So they will enter
Mm-hmm.
the credentials based on those credentials. The person attacker, external attacker, enter into the organization, and they will track that here and there, here
Yes.
and there. You can see the internal attacker and external attacker. They will track that, and they will see
Yeah.
that whether this person is having full privileges or not. If this person is
Mm-hmm.
having the full privileges, and they will enter into the database.
Yes.
Once they will
Like
enter into the
we can tell us like from external, we can take phishing mails. So
exact,
once we click on it, we can give out credentials and they can hack us.
yeah, that is one of the example also.
Yeah.
Okay, so they will enter into the database and they will hack that. They will change the password immediately and they will hack that database. Once
Yes.
they will hack the database, what will happen? The people, whoever is working on the application, the people, whoever is working on the organization, they cannot access to the database.
Yes.
Okay, and that data also required. For example, my credentials is stored into the my database. If I am trying to
Mhm.
connect using those credentials, it is not accessible to server because that
Yeah.
database is hacking by someone.
Mm-hmm.
So we need to connect that person hacker, and they will that person will demand some amount,
Mm-hmm.
and we have to pay or something, whatever it is. Later requirements based on his demands, and we will argue or we will bargain with them. Then only we will see
Yes.
that. Right. So that
Yes.
is what exactly it will happen. Same internal hacker also will do that. Internal hacker, what will happen? That person knows because he doesn't have a proper privileges, but until and unless he will get the proper privileges to access to the database, once he get the access to the database and he will hack that.
Mm-hmm.
So that is what exactly the internal hacker and external attacker will do that in the organization.
Yes.
Clear?
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
Any
It's
doubts?
clear.
Okay.
No.
Okay. So privilege is at the center of the attack life cycle. Is the typical life cycle of the CyberArk attack. You can see the first penetration. So whenever the people wants to enter into the organization, they has to the penetration and credential depth. So
Yes.
credential depth means someone has to in the previous slide what I mentioned that someone has to take the credentials from the someone and they will enter into the organization. The credential depth and reconsistency, lateral movement and privilege escalation and repeat. So what exactly will happen here? The internal threats or external threats, they will enter into the organization by using the credentials. Okay. So later they will keep on perform the reconciliation means they keep on eye and checking that whether we can get the privileges, proper privileges account, fully privileges
Mm-hmm.
accounts or not, and to access to the database. Once they
Okay.
get into those credentials and they will access the database and they will hack that.
Mm-hmm.
So what CyberArk will do here? CyberArk is breaks that chain. CyberArk will be a starting position. As you observe
Mm-hmm.
that whenever we are doing the installation of the CyberArk, we are doing the front face. Whenever
Mm-hmm.
they wants to connect their application, they has to log in into the
Log in through
CyberArk,
CyberArk.
then only they can able to connect to their application.
Yes.
Exactly right. So
Mm-hmm.
if you want to connect, for example, internal threads or external threads, whoever he wants, they wants to connect application first. They wants to log in the CyberArk.
Mm-hmm.
Here, how he will no do the credential tab? They will not do anything because the
Mm-hmm.
credentials itself is available in the CyberArk.
Mm-hmm.
Because that person also doesn't know what is the credentials on the backend. Because CyberArk
Yes.
is not going to be give any permissions to the any user to end users. End users will get the only option that is a connect option to
Mm.
connect their target application.
Yes.
So we are the CyberArk admin. CyberArk administrator is the responsible to managing all these things on the backend.
Mm-hmm.
And there will be one password manager. I think you might aware that the password
Yes. Yes.
manager is the responsible to rotate the credentials as per the policy which is set up by the platform level.
Yes.
So based on that the credentials will rotate and the people whoever is having the end users doesn't have access to view the credentials. So if the person can connect, target system is trying to connect, he can able to connect but he cannot do anything because he doesn't know the credentials.
Yes.
And if he is trying to change the passwords, immediately the tool itself is triggered and monitored, and tool will notify to the security team and it will suspend the session immediately.
Yes. Yes.
So here, these things, the credential theft is not happened here. And reconciliations means that means he has to enter the organizations and he will check that. That will
Mm-hmm.
also not happen, and lateral movement also not happen because he will not allow the inside of the organization, right?
Yes.
And
Yes.
privilege escalation repeat. All these things is not going to be happening here.
Mm-hmm.
Only thing penetration means he can enter into the organization. That means he can able to log in into the organization, but he cannot connect to the target systems.
Yes.
Okay, he cannot to he is not able to try change the passwords also.
Mm-hmm.
So that is what exactly CyberArk will breaks the chain. CyberArk will stop that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so far I observed CyberArk only the tool is not going to be hacked. It's not happened. So far it
Yes.
is not happened, but
Yes.
others, BT tool and Beyond Trust, Delinea, some other PAM tools is available. Those
Mm-hmm.
tools, those PAM tools, yeah, BT also hacked by someone
Okay.
from the BT, that is Beyond Trust, some of the
Yes.
Delinea. These are the some of the PAM tools which is available in the market and leading also in the market. But these are compared to PAM tool, compared to CyberArk PAM tool, these are little bit less.
Yes.
CyberArk will be the market leader next 5 years also.
Yes.
Okay, so protecting the privileged access, here you can see the protecting the privileged access. How exactly the protecting the privileges, the whatever the credentials which we onboarded into the CyberArk, how exactly it is going to be protect. See here, the privileged access manager PAM, the CyberArk, there are the two solutions. One is cloud, on premises. These are the things which is available. So here you
Okay.
can see the monitoring tools. There will be some monitoring tools as well as there will be some security controls inside the network. And every network we are going to be set up some firewall rules. It is not going to be allow or deny.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and perimeter security, that means whenever you want to enter into the CyberArk tool, he has to authenticate system symmetric or some of the
Yes.
RSA token like that. So
Yes.
these are the security parameters which is available in the CyberArk. Okay, so
Okay.
not that much easy to enter into the CyberArk. So
Mm-hmm.
whenever even whenever you are started working on the CyberArk, you have to authenticate yourself first,
Yes. Like we
right?
used to semantic authentication.
Authentication. Yes,
Yes.
semantic authentication is a token number. You have to
Yes.
enter the token number, then only you can access that, because that will verify that your authentication. Authentication means you
Yes.
are right person or not.
Yes.
Okay, so proactive protection, detection, and response. These are the four features which is available, and you can see proactive protection. How exactly the proactive protection is helping here? One is credentials, secure the credentials. Okay, secure the
Mm-hmm.
credentials means whenever you are onboarding the credentials, that means account details, the credentials of the password username, it is going to be secure that as per the policy, which is going to be rotate on backend. There is no manual interventions here. If you want,
Okay.
you can keep it the manual interventions also. It is available option, but the most 99% we are using the automation of the password.
Yes.
Okay, the only authorized users can able to access to the CyberArk. Others will not able
Mm-hmm.
to access that. And if you are not able to access that, if you are not adding that person, that end user into the target safe level, that
Mm-hmm.
person cannot able to access that.
Yes.
Each and everything we are going to be CyberArk is going to be provide the individual accountability. So one account, whenever you are clicking on something, it is going to be display that okay, this person so and so on time, this account
Yes.
trying to change the password and everything logs, right? Account
Like in activities we
activities.
can see. Yes.
Exactly. The activities list, you can see that every second also you can able to see that
Yes.
what we are trying to do, what we are going to be do these things. Session isolation and each and everything session, it is going to be isolated that whenever the
Mm-hmm.
people one application, one target server wants to connect the multiple people, that it is going to be isolated those sections.
Yes.
Otherwise, what will happen? Hemant will connect and Subhas will connect and other persons will connect. The
Yeah.
people, they has to isolate those sessions and they has to record each and every session.
Yes.
Okay.
So
The,
someone logs in, other person cannot log in during the
exactly.
session.
No, no, no. They can, that person can able to log in. Okay. For example, one application, for example, database application, if you are going to be login and the other person wants to log in and he wants to do something else, yes, he can able to log in and he can able to access that. But the only thing here, the session
Okay.
isolation means it will be separate sessions which is happening, but both of them, and it is going to be record. For example, you whatever you are doing, it is going to be record, and whatever I am going to be do, I am going to be it is going to be record. And both
Okay.
sessions we will comes to know okay, these many, yeah, the end users will connect to the target system and this is what they has done, and it
Mm-hmm.
is going to
Okay.
be segregate the sessions. Okay,
Okay.
and
Mhm.
limit
But
scope of the
sometimes like only for admin accounts, so we can log in once at a time, right? Like
yeah,
when we
I agreed that point, but there will be one policy which is available. If you
Okay.
want to allow only one person at a time to log in into the target system,
Mm-hmm.
we have to enable one policy. So
Okay.
that
Okay.
is the different one. Okay. Session
Okay.
isolation is different. Session
Okay.
isolation, what exactly the session isolation is going to be do? N number of people wants to connect. That means 100 concurrent sessions, I think so.
Mm-hmm.
One PSM, it is going to be support 100 concurrent sessions. That means one target system, 100 people can able to access that target system. But
Okay.
100 sessions is going to be segregate that.
Mm-hmm. Got it.
Okay,
Got it.
100 sessions, it is going to be monitor that. But whatever you are telling,
Mm-hmm.
at a time one person can access, yes, there will be some master policy. That policy is a check-in checkout
Mm-hmm.
policy, exclusive access check-in checkout policy will is available. If we enable that policy, what will happen? Whenever you are connecting your target system at a time, one person can able to
Mm-hmm.
access that until and unless that person can now come out from that no target system. That means checked in
Yes.
from that target system, then only other person can able to access that. So that
Yes. Yes.
policy is different. This is the feature which
This
is
is
available.
isolation.
Okay,
Okay. Okay. Got it.
this is the feature, that is the policy. Okay,
Okay.
the
Okay. Got
policy
it.
is different, feature is different. Okay, and
Yeah.
limit scope
Session
of the
isolation, like we can tell it as like how many members are logged in. So each user will get a separate session.
exactly.
Like, got it. Got it.
Okay, now next, the limit scope of the privileges. So the privilege accounts which we are going to be on board, based on that, we are going to be on board that. Next one is the
Yes.
targeted detection. So how exactly it is going to be targeted? Whatever you are going, whatever your session isolation, whatever the recordings and everything is happening in that, right? So it has to be record something. It has to be targeted account detections. That means continuous monitoring. We are going to be monitoring completely. Okay,
Okay.
one second. Okay, so we are going to be monitoring each and everything, and
Yes.
malicious behavior, high risk behaviors. For example, if someone is trying to change the credentials, okay, in the
Mm-hmm.
target system, but you connected your target system and you are trying to change something else, it has to be monitored that. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
malicious behavior and high risk behavior and alerts. If something happened, if someone is trying to change the credentials, immediately what will happen? It is going to be send the alerts to the security team. And
Yes.
the same way, after that, real-time response also, if may feel, and it will send the notification to the security team, as well as sessions suspension and termination will happen on the same time.
Yes.
That means real-time response. Immediately
Yes.
it
Yes.
has the responded, and it is going to be stop malicious activities there.
Yes. Even
Okay,
if you do some changes in our servers also, like component servers, we will get alerts and we will
E-
get a
exactly,
incidents also for that. Then we need to tell them it's done by administration team as a part of something. We need to convey them. Then only they
exactly,
will remove that.
exactly. Okay, full forensic record of the activity also. Okay, full forensics record of the activity, each and everything which
Okay.
whatever we are going to be do, that is going to be
Mm-hmm.
do the audit. Each and everything we are going to be do the audit.
Okay.
And key features of the some of the key features of the CyberArk. There are the 5 features of the CyberArk which is available. One is the discovery and manage the credentials, and isolate the credentials and sessions, record and audit the sessions, monitor privileged activity, remediate risky behavior. Okay, the first one is discover and manage the credentials. What exactly it is going to be do here? Discover and manage the credentials, automated process for the accounts discovery. So here you can see the figure here diagram. In the
Mm-hmm.
digital world, CPM is the responsible, CPM also. CPM
Yes.
is the central policy manager. CPM is the responsible to connect to the Active Directory or the server, whatever the server which we are going to be configure. So it is going to be connect to the directory, okay, to
Okay.
process those accounts into the CyberArk. Okay,
Okay.
CPM will reach out to the active. Take an example on the Active Directory. CPM will reach out to the Active Directory and pull the accounts and do the discovery of those accounts. So when
Okay.
we no need to onboard the accounts manually. We no need to get the account details from the application owners and whoever going to be raise the ticket. No need to get these details. You can directly CPM itself is responsible to reach out to the target system, target directory, and get those accounts, whatever the accounts which is available, right? You can get those accounts and you can onboard that.
Mm-hmm.
This is what exactly the discovery. Anyway, I can show you the lab in this how exactly discovery will happens. Okay.
Okay.
So automated process, these are the automated process. No need to get the credentials from the, no need to get the credentials, account details from the application owner. It
Okay.
will automatically get into the CyberArk tool, and from there we have to process those accounts, and then you can rotate the passwords. Now you can see
Okay.
this here, the policies to manage that. How exactly
Okay.
policies to
So I
manage?
have a doubt here. Like,
Go
so
ahead.
it is automated process, right? So it is different for self-hosted, right? We need to onboard the accounts, right, in self-hosted.
No, in self-hosted or privileged cloud, whatever it is, we have three features. In the accounts
Okay.
onboarding, there are the multiple ways to do it. If you want to reach your home, there are the too many roads which is available.
Mm-hmm.
The same
Yes. Yes.
way in the CyberArk also, onboarding accounts, we have it so many types of onboarding accounts. One
Okay.
is manual account, one single account which is available, we have to do it manually. Right.
Okay.
If you have a multiple accounts, for example, at a time you have to onboard 10 to 20 or 100 plus, whatever it is, until up
Mm-hmm.
to 10,000, you can onboard by using the Excel sheet. Right.
Yes.
That
Like
is called bulk
POU.
uploading.
Yeah.
PU, password upload utility tool, which is not using now because after 12.2, we are not using the password upload utility.
Yes.
Before
Directly
12.
now we are doing with Excel.
Exactly. Now we have
Like
upgraded.
previously we have done with that POU, but it is a
Yes.
very difficult process. Like we need to do on keep that Excel sheet with XML, and we need to give all those details, and we need to upload in all the servers. Then only it is some complicated previously.
Yes, it's not that much complicated. We actually PUU tool is a password upload utility tool. We have to install that. Then we have to
Mm-hmm.
create the CSV file. Okay. So
Yes.
once
Yes.
you create the CSV file, and we can create one CRED file as well, because the CRED file has supposed to authenticate to the vault and process those credentials,
Yes.
process
Yes.
the onboarding the account. This is what the
Yes.
process will happen. So that was in 11th version. Okay. Now
Okay.
latest version is 14.2 now. Okay.
Okay.
So what exactly this is the on after 12.2. After 12.2, there is no password upload utility, and still few of the companies are using. I can agree, but
Mm-hmm.
most of the companies, they are not using the password upload utility tool to
Okay.
upload the bulk uploading, bulk accounts onboarding.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So now the people are using, simply they can download the CSV file from the tool itself. You can
Mm-hmm.
update all the credentials in that Excel sheet, that means CSV file, and you can upload those
Okay.
that sheet, and it will automatically onboard those credentials. And the third one
Okay.
is the discovery
Okay.
management. If you do the discovery management for Windows is different, discovery management for Linux is different. We have to do the discovery management that I will show you in the lab.
Okay.
Okay, how to do the discovery management, how it will discover the accounts from the Active Directory to here, and how to onboard those accounts. Your
Okay.
doubt is clear?
Yeah, it's clear.
Okay, now the policies to manage. Once you onboard the accounts, how exactly it is going to be manage the policies? The password complexity and length. Who will
Mm-hmm.
decide this? We have to decide ourselves as per the
Mm.
platform level. And once you create the platform, and we have to update that. So, okay, password complexity, how much it is, password length, how much it is, what is, how many minimum characters, how many upper
Yes.
cases, how many numeric members it should be available. So these
Mm-hmm.
things we have to define at the platform level. Based
Yes.
on this only, the password will be rotated by the CPM.
Yes.
And we have to define the policy at the rotation of the frequency. How many days we
Mm.
have to keep, whether it is 60, 90, or 120, 180,
Yes.
or
Yes.
365 days. Okay. So
Yeah.
based on that policies, the CPM, the password manager is the responsible to managing the credentials.
Mm-hmm.
Any questions on the Discord and manage the credentials?
No, bro.
Okay.
Like I need to know like few doubts. Like in lab session also we can learn those, right? Like how in background that CPM works, like when we reconcile or when we change those things.
Yeah,
I have
that
few doubts.
anyway, we have a separate topic. This is the just introduction.
Okay, okay.
Just
Got it,
we are
got it. For
giving
now it is fine.
the
Yeah.
overview about this and how exactly we are going to be do it. But
Okay, okay.
yeah, the question you are asking, right? How when we can do the verify, and when we can do the change, and when we can
Yes.
do the reconcile? Definitely, I can explain.
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
Hello.
Hello? Yes, bro.
I think, sorry, man, I think my net was disconnected.
Okay.
Okay, so I will teach you that what is the
Okay. Okay.
flow of, what is the flow of verify and what is the flow of change and what is the flow of reconcile. This thing
Okay.
we are going to be discussing in the lab as well as theoretical
Okay.
both. Okay, so
Okay.
any questions until here so far?
Until here, no, no, bro. It's fine.
Okay, good. So next one is next feature. It would be the isolate the credentials and sessions. So the first
Okay.
feature discover and manage the credentials. We are onboarded the credential. We are onboard the credentials and we are managing the credentials. First one. And the second feature, isolate credentials and sessions. Once you onboard and once you are managing the credentials, then next feature would be the isolate credentials and sessions. Here, what exactly CyberArk will be do? CyberArk enables secure connections to the critical system choosing the proxy. Here, who is the proxy? Proxy is the PSM. What PSM is going to
Yes.
be do here? PSM is the responsible to isolate the sessions, to control and monitor the sessions. Okay, so directly target systems are fully isolated and privileged credentials are not exposed to the end users or applications or devices, whoever it is. It is not going to be exposed to the target
Oh,
end users. And target systems are configured not to accept the direct connections. So whenever you are onboarding the accounts, you are trying to connect through PVWA. Whenever you are launching your account, whenever you are connecting your target system, you have to click on the connect button and it is going to be launched RDP through PSM. You have to
session.
connect your
Yes.
target server. Without PSM, it is not going to be accept.
Yes.
Why it is not going to be accept? If you don't have a PSM, what will happen? You are connecting your target system, but who is going to be monitor and who is going to be recording the session?
There will.
Correct. Who is going to be monitor that? Hello? Hello?
No.
Ah, Heman, able to
Now.
hear?
Mhm.
It
Yes. Yes.
okay, fine. So who is going to be monitor that? If you are connecting directly to the remote desktop, no one, right? So whenever you are
Mm-hmm.
connecting your target system, there should be a PSM. PSM is the responsible to monitoring the sessions, to monitoring the sessions.
Yes.
It is going to be record each and every sessions, whatever you are doing. Okay. Next.
Mm-hmm.
So record and
Okay.
audit the sessions. Once you record the sessions, who is going to be record the sessions? PSM is the responsible to record the sessions. Once you record and this record is going to be saved into the vault, then the next feature, record and audit the sessions. Whenever you are recording the sessions, audit has to do that. The privilege sessions recorded in video or text format. This like this. You can see that. Okay, stored and
Yes.
encrypted
Yes.
in the
Yes.
tamper resistant digital vault, and you have to see and we have to validate that by seeing the recording, and you can see the text also if you want text format.
Yes.
Recordings have a
Yes. Yes.
clickable timeline to navigate to the specific events. Okay, so like that we can
Yes.
validate and you can do the auditors. And the next option is monitor the privileged activity. So CyberArk session monitoring enables review of the recordings and live sessions, which can be sorted based on the risk. So
Mm-hmm.
based on the risk, how we will define the risk? The risk will be defined once you install the PTA and the PTA configurations, which we will configure that. Okay, if you are trying to change the password, the score would be the 90. Like that, we will define
Okay.
as per the configuration.
Okay.
Okay. So this enables the security operations, the personnel to take risk-based approach by the prioritizing the greatest threats that are detected in the environment. So
Okay.
here, based on the getting some noise, go into the meeting,
What, bro?
getting some noise. Okay.
Okay. Okay. It's fine now.
It's fine. So this
Okay.
enables the security operations, the personnel to take a risk-based approach by the prioritizing the greatest threats that are detected in the environment. You can see here how exactly it
Mm-hmm.
is going to be detected. Based on the risk score, it is going to be do some activities. Okay.
Yes. Yes.
You can monitor the direct active sessions and recording sessions both. And the
Okay.
last one, once you are finding these type of issues and 90% of the score based, it is going to be monitored that everything. And the last, remediate the risky behavior. Once you find this 90% is high and you are trying to, someone is trying to change the credentials and it has to remediate the risky behavior. It has to
Okay.
suspend the session. Your session has been suspended now, we can see.
Mm-hmm.
Immediately, he
Okay.
has to send the notification to the security team as well as the session has to be suspended.
Suspended.
Okay, then
Okay.
once you suspend that and the security team is responsible to go into this event and has to take the some action and will reach out to the person and they will
Okay.
connect with call whatever reasons and they has to enable this account later based on
Okay.
their response. The person whoever, for example, here the Mike is the responsible, the Mike is will connect to
Mm-hmm.
the who wants the will connect. Mike is trying to change something else for the password activity.
All. Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
password
Mm-hmm.
activity he is trying to something else. So he has,
Yes.
Mike
Yes.
is the audit user here. Mike will reach out to this person and they will
Yes.
ask the question why you are trying to change the password and what is the reason. Then later we will get the ticket from him and we will activate this account.
Okay.
So these are the features. Do you have any doubt on the features, key features on this CyberArk? I will send
No,
you
bro.
this document. You can read this and if you have
Yes.
any
Yes.
questions, you can ask me tomorrow also. Okay.
Okay.
Now, important one is the system architecture. System architecture, we are having the components, CyberArk PAM components. There are the 5 components. The mandatory components is 4, and you can see the 5 components here available. And later you can install how
Yes.
many components we require. The first, the
Mm-hmm.
main component is the digital vault. This is the most important component. This is the heart of the CyberArk PAM tool. Without
Yes.
vault, we cannot do anything. With vault only, we can do everything. In the vault,
Mm-hmm.
this is the secure server used to store the privileged account information and based on the hardened Windows server platforms. So whatever we are going to be doing in the PAM tool, it is going to be stored into the vault. Vault is the
Yes.
major main security tool, main security server.
Mm-hmm.
The vault we
Okay.
are going to be maintained in the separate server that is a workstation, not in the domain join. Work
Okay.
Vault always would be the workstation, not in the domain join. Because
Okay.
domain join means there is no security. Everyone, whoever is having access to that domain, they can access to that.
Mm.
But
Yes. Yes.
workstation is a private server and it has to maintain the separate connections and everything. And the vault is the most important component for the CyberArk. And the
Mm-hmm.
next component would be the PVWA, that is the password vault web access. So the PVWA is nothing but web interfaces for the
Web
users
interface.
to gain
Yes.
the access to privileged accounts information, and it is mainly used by the vault administrator to configure the policies, to configure the platforms, to create the safes, to onboard the accounts. So administrator is going to be use the PVWA as well as the end users also will use the PVWA
Mm-hmm.
because we don't have a direct access to the vault. So we are using the PVWA as well as provider client to access to the vault.
Yes.
Okay.
Mm.
So the third component is it would be the important, that is the CPM Central Policy Manager. What exactly CPM will do here? The performs the password changes on the devices, scans the network for the privileged accounts. Okay.
Yes.
CPM is responsible to change the passwords for the accounts
Passports.
as per the
Yes.
policy which is set up, which is setting up by the policy at the master
Yes.
policy. And the next important one is the PSM. The PSM Privilege Session Manager is going to be do isolates and monitor the privileged account activity, each and everything, and record the privileged account sessions. And it will
Yes.
record the sessions and it is going to be saved into the vault. And the last component, but not least, that is the privileged threat analytics, PTA.
Threat analysis. Yes.
PTA is going to be do monitors and detect the malicious privileged accounts behavior. It is going to be detect the malicious behavior and it is going to be take the immediate response and real-time action on that. Okay.
Okay.
And
Bro,
the
like
world,
in
yeah.
some projects, like if there is no PTA, then it will be considered as it is used by other team, right? So we don't have PTA in our project.
Oh, yeah.
So
So
sometimes it is necessary,
basically,
it is compulsory necessary, or it is a
no,
add-on
it's
thing.
not a mandatory one for PTA.
Okay.
PTA, instead of PTA, they can use the Seams tool. That is
Okay.
also one
Okay.
of the monitoring tool.
Like
So
Splunk or some other
yes. Socket
Sentinel.
SOC, I think so, and as well as Splunk, as well as Seams. These are the
Okay.
tools which is for the monitoring, and they will use the different. BTA is more costly than these things.
Okay. Okay.
Sometimes they will use, depends upon budget
Mm-hmm.
only. But Vault, PWA, CPM, PSM is the mandatory components which we
Yeah.
need to do the installation.
Okay.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now the vaults and clients, you can see this. The vault will communicate to the each and every component, and whenever the component will connect. For example, you can see the PSM. Whenever you are connecting through PSM, the PSM is the responsible to fetch the credentials from the vault and has to access to the target system. The same way,
Yes.
whenever the users is connecting to the PWA, that is password vault web access,
Mm.
and the password web access you connecting to the PWA, and PWA will reach out to the vault and get the credentials for them.
Yes.
So each and every component will connect to the vault and get the relevant information, whatever they require. Okay.
Yes.
So these are the components which is direct having access. Something happened to the vault, it is going to be impact of the components as well. Clear?
Okay. Yeah.
And how exactly it is going to be provide the end-to-end security here? The vault user and stored credentials. You can see the session encryption, firewall authentication, discriminatory access control, mandatory access control, and auditing and file encryption. So user
Okay.
and stored the credentials. These are the end-to-end security which is going to be provided. Session encryption
Mm-hmm.
means it is going to be provide the proprietary protocols and open SSL encryption. Each and everything it is going to be provided through SSL encryption only. And proprietary protocol means one TCP which is going to be allowed to access the vault. It is not
Okay.
going to be allowed for all the
Mm-hmm.
TCPs. You know, right?
Okay.
That is the
Yes.
TCP, that is 1858 TCP. Only one
Yes.
port
Yes.
is going to be access to the vault. If that port is not going to be work, then vault is not going to be work. The communication
Mm-hmm.
will be failed. So whenever
Yes.
you are getting the some failure, you need to check the vault service is running or not. If vault service
Yes.
is not running, that component will not going to be work.
Okay.
Next one is firewalls. Hardened Windows, built-in Windows firewalls. Some we are going to be block the firewalls. It is not going to be allow every firewall. Only one or two firewalls, which is going to be allow that.
Mm-hmm.
And third
Okay.
important one is authentication. That is authentication. There are the two singular two-factor authentication. Always recommended two-factor authentication, but singular two-factor authentication which is available.
Mm-hmm.
And discretionary access control, that is the granular permissions. Whenever you require some access, yeah, definitely we are going to be provide based on the requirement of the company, based on
Mm-hmm.
requirement of the business. And
Okay.
role-based access control, that is based on the role which we are going to be provide the access. For example, you are the team lead and you can get this some access. You are the associate, you can get this some access like that.
Yes.
And
Okay.
mandatory access control, subnet based access control means subnet based on the subnet which we are going to be provided some access. That is the network level access like that. And time
Okay.
limit and delays. That means for these accounts, you are going to allow so on so on time. For example, 8 a.m. to 9 p.m. like that, 8:30 to
Mm-hmm.
9:30 or 8 a.m. to the night 9 p.m. like that. We are going to be provided based on the time limits
Okay.
for the to access to that vault. And
Okay.
auditing means tamper proof audit trails and event based alerts. Okay. And
Mm-hmm.
file encryption, hierarchical encryption model, every object as a unique key. Every object as a unique key based on
Unique.
the credentials. That means credentials which is having the unique key. Each and every
Okay.
credentials we are having the separate key.
Okay.
And the next one is CyberArk Scalable Architecture. CyberArk Scalable Architecture, you can see here, this architecture will having the cluster one, but we are going to be do this standalone, that is standalone vault. We are going to be do because we don't have a license for the cluster, and this cluster will have a
Okay.
different license. Standalone will have a different license.
Okay.
Okay, so the difference is standalone, which we are going to be maintain the single vault, but cluster we are going to be maintain the multiple vaults. Okay, so
Okay.
cluster will work as an active passive model, and standalone will not work active passive. Standalone will work as a standalone and will have a backup for the DR. But cluster having active passive model,
Okay.
for example, there are the three vaults which we are going to be installed. First vault will active, and second is the passive. Whenever the first one is down,
Okay.
it will active automatically, and the second one will also
Okay.
down. Third one will active automatically. These three also
Okay.
down. The DR will do the activation.
Okay.
But comes to the standalone, what will happen? The standalone, the first walls will down, the DR should be active.
Okay. So
Okay.
suppose like we have vault in UK, US, and one is in UK, EU
Mm-hmm.
region.
Mm-hmm.
So then we have the PSM and CPM servers also in both the regions. Then we can say it as cluster one, right?
No, no, not like that. Cluster, it should be in, see here the diagram. Have you seen the diagram? So whatever the regions which is having, okay, the main region is the US. You can see the vault is
Okay.
here. Vault is here. You can see the vault
Hmm.
in the main region, that is the US region. We can connect the cluster here itself, the main region itself. And from the
Okay.
London, it is going to be
Okay.
access to that, and Hong Kong, it is going to be access that, and IT environment, whatever environment, it is going to be access that. If something happened to the one vault, other
Hmm.
vaults
Hmm.
also
Hmm.
is available, because we are having the users will
Okay.
reach out to from the different domain and different region. All right.
Yes.
So what will happen? The main
Yes.
cluster,
Yes.
whatever the walls you are going to be do, we are not going to be configure the region wise. We are going to be configure the main data center at the cluster. But but
Okay.
but region wise, what will happen? We can connect to the DR side as well as you can see the diagram. You can see the diagram.
Okay.
Okay. Or
Hmm.
one more thing also we can do. If you have a multiple walls, I don't want to take any risk. You can keep it the different regions also.
Hmm.
In the different regions also,
Okay.
you can install the cluster.
Hmm.
Okay. For example, you are in India. You are
Got it.
managing the complete whole environment from the India. You can install in India, and other
Okay.
regions will connect to this India.
Hmm.
Or I don't want to take any risk. If
Okay.
India is down, at least the US will be available, right? So like that you want
Hmm.
to manage. So you are managing the US, India, as well as UK. If something
Hmm.
happened to the London, and it will connect to the US. If
Okay.
something happened to the India, it will connect to the US, like that. You can manage the likewise. So
Okay.
based on the requirement
Hmm.
of the business, we have to define our structure.
Okay.
Clear?
Okay.
Any questions?
No, bro. Got it.
Okay, good. So the last one, that is the system interfaces and utilities, the PBWA and provider client web interfaces, that means REST APIs, Vault, central administration, and remote control agents. So once we finish this, introduction will be over. The first one is the password, Vault, web access, new interfaces. Now we are having the two interfaces. One is the V10 interfaces, another one is the classic interfaces. So the PBWA version
Classic
10,
interface. Yes.
yes, PBWA version 10 introduced the new interfaces which focus on seamless workflows and easy access. So end users,
Yes.
the mainly using the V10 interface, that is the end users. End users will use this interface to retrieve the password or launch the privilege sessions. Auditors will use this
Yes.
interface to monitor privileged sessions. Some of the
Okay.
features still require the classic interface, that means which they can be accessed by the dedicated link. So whoever wants to use, because administrator will use the classic interface till today. Because we don't want to
Yes.
see
Yes.
this one in this larger manner, but we want to see complete details in one page. So the mainly
Yes.
still today, the mainly the V10 interface, the people whoever is using, that is one is end users, another one is the auditors. They can easily access. See, for
Hmm.
example, here he can see AWS
Yes.
test user. I don't want to go to the classic interface. Simply, I can connect to the click on the connect button and connect to the target system. That's it. I don't want to do anything here. But whenever administrator,
Hmm.
you can see that administrator, they wants to change the password, reconcile the password, verify the password, and they want to see the activities, versions, advanced, all these things. This is the classic interface which the person going to be use this, and in the every one
Yes.
single page, you can see all the details which is available here. Okay,
Hmm.
the classic interface is mostly used by the vault administrators to manage the policies and permissions and to configure the PVWA and other components.
Yes.
Okay. So
Okay.
provider client, you can see this is the legacy interface. The provider client is the legacy interface to the vault data, and most of the vault we don't have a direct access, but by using the provider client, we can access the users and we can provide the permissions. We can unlock the password lock, all these things. The mostly used by the administrator for the certain tasks which are not performed by the which are not implemented or performed in the PVWA. So whatever we are not able to do in the
Hmm.
PBWA, they can
Yes. Yes.
use the provider client and they can access to the world and they can
Hmm.
do that. If you want to add the users internally, you can use the provider client and you can do it. The provider client can be installed
Yes.
on any station with access to the vault. Provider client can be installed on any
Okay.
station with access to the vault. Okay, you can install on any server. They can
Okay.
access
Like
to
a
the vault
private
directly.
client, we can. Uh, so can we? Well, private client as a AD or server, which one?
No, your voice is breaking.
No, no, like private client, and we treat as
I'm not able to hear you. Your voice is breaking. Still network issue, I think.
okay, just a minute. So, are you able to hear now?
Fine. Mm.
Hello.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, actually, private Arc client. Once we install Vault, then inside we have to install private Arc client, right?
Exactly.
So when we can consider it as a server or a AD, that private Arc client.
No, no. Provider client is a legacy interface and desktop-based application. It's not a server. You can install on any server.
Okay, okay.
Okay. Provider
But we
client
need it
software.
in Vault. That's why we do it in Vault.
No, we can do in Vault. We can do in PWA. You can do in PWA, PSM. You can do in CPM server also. To access to the Vault
Okay, okay,
directly. Okay.
okay, okay. Hmm.
Hmm. The next one is the PAM Web Services. The PAM Web Services is the REST API, a RESTful API that enables users to create, list, modify, and delete the entities in the PAM using the programs and scripts. So whatever you are going to be doing manually, we can do these scripting language. Okay,
Okay.
through REST APIs.
Hmm.
The main purpose of the PAM
Okay,
Web Services is to automate tasks that are usually performed manually using the UI to incorporate them into the
hmm.
system and account provisioning scripts.
Okay,
Okay, so whatever you are doing on manually, that we are going to be do through the scripting language using the programs or scripts. You can do it. We can use that REST APIs
okay,
also. You can onboard the accounts by using the REST APIs. You can onboard the bulk upload. You can create the safe. We can create the platform and everything. We can do it. And the next one is Vault
okay,
Central Administration. The Vault Central Administration, you can see only available on the Vault server. And this is the main service of the Vault. And you can always check the starting the and stopping the private arc server Windows service, displaying the Vault server logs. You can see all that logs. And whenever any user is not able to connect, and you can able to see here. This is the log file as well
okay,
as you can see the whether it is stop or whether it is running or not, and change the wall
okay.
debug level dynamically. You can change to the administration by using the administration
Yeah,
tab. We can change it.
okay,
And the last one is a remote control client, runs from the command line interfaces. We have to install that remote control RCC and
okay,
execute the task vault server via remote control agent. By using the remote control agent, we have to run it, and you can check the vault status whether it is running, or if you want to stop, you can stop that. Whether you want to start, you can start it by using the pair client.
okay,
Okay. So it will communicate, the client and agent communicate via CyberArk remote control protocol, that is 9022, and RCC
okay,
reduces the need to open the RDP port for the vault. So no need to open
okay,
every time to the RDP port. Instead of that, you can use this RCC. We can install that and you can check that whether it is running or not. That's
okay.
it.
So this one we can use from PWA
Yeah, we have
or
to any server.
install it.
Yeah, yes.
Okay, okay,
Any server. Okay, we can install in PWA. You can any server. We have to install that
okay.
RCC.
Hmm.
And online help and customer community portal. You can see the CyberArk, the customer community portal, which is available. You can go to the customer community portal and you can go into the documentation, and you can get
Hmm.
all the documentations related to the CyberArk PAM administration, CyberArk implementation, CyberArk installations, and everything. It is available
Hmm.
there. Okay, you can
Yes,
go
yes.
through that and you can read that.
Okay.
That's it. So this is what we discussed. So we discussed about the basic principles and concepts, and we discussed about the key features of the CyberArk PAM solutions and the PAM's system architecture, the PAM system architecture interfaces and utilities, and customer community portal which is available. So
Okay.
any questions you can ask me now.
As of now, no, bro.
Okay.
So, like in interviews, like we'll do the installation part later, right? So, on that they will ask interviews, or on self-hosted also they will ask in interviews. Like it is some different, right? Compared to this cloud. So, is there any changes? Like it is a complete installation, right? If they ask any doubts, so we can go through any videos or something.
No. Oh, okay, fine. For the installation, I can provide all the documentation with you. for all the components in and out, and how exactly we can do the pre-checks as well as installation, post-installation, all these things which is available in that document.
Hmm.
As
Okay,
well
okay.
as we are going to be do the practice on the lab on daily
Mm-hmm.
basis. Whenever you are
Yes,
getting
yes.
some doubts, immediately what you can do, you have to
Hmm.
refer that the recording sessions which is available in the G Drive,
Okay,
that will access to the lifetime always. I will not remove that, but that
okay.
will access every time whenever you want. But
Mm-hmm.
only request is you cannot share to the anyone. That's
Yes,
the
yes.
request I can say.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, no, whenever you are sharing, it is going to be declined that access, and for you also it may be chances are there to remove that access.
Mm-hmm.
But you can get the lifetime access for those recordings whenever you are facing the issue, you are not able to understand. You can go through those recordings because you can go through that recordings and you can able to do the process. That is one thing. Okay.
Okay,
And these reports also I can able to access through the G Drive.
okay.
Any questions?
No, but
Okay,
bro,
fine.
I didn't ask your name, bro.
My name is Subhas.
Okay, okay.
Okay. Chalo guys.
Yeah,
Chalo.
okay.
So we'll connect on tomorrow. Okay.
Hmm. Okay.
Okay.